joining us. This is our second wellness webinar series. Today's topic is Green Cleaning Workshop. It's presented by Alexis Roberts with the University of Georgia Extension Fulton County. And then teaming up again is Elizabeth Puckett with Fulton County Library Systems Adult Outreach Program. And then me, Jessica, I am your wellness coordinator. Just a couple of housekeeping items. Alexis, can we record this?
Yes, I think it's recording. Yep.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So this is being recorded, and then all of the resource information that we're discussing tonight will be sent to you in an email in a few days. And then we're going to do a little something for, because last couple of months have been really, really crazy, and it's really important that we maintain our well-being, and that could be nutrition, that could be exercise, mental. It's just really important. So we're going to get you started for the physical, and I don't know if you can see it, but these are wireless earbuds, and they're rechargeable, and they have the new wellness logo on them. So what we're going to do is raffle off a couple, and then we'll tell who the winners are in that email that we're going to send out. All right, so just want to get started. All right, so we discussed this in the last wellness webinar, but Fulton County has a lot of communication pieces for us. The first one is the new Facebook page, the employee Facebook page, and you're able to access it in two ways, either by using the link that's provided, or you can search Fulton County Employee. We post wellness information on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays is motivational information, Wednesdays is nutrition, and then Fridays is about fitness. The next one is Fulco News. That is published every Tuesday and Thursday, and you'll receive it in your Fulton County issued email. And then the other one is Mobile Health Consumer. Mobile Health is a really, really great tool for communication pieces, but it also has other components where you have your benefits information right in your hand, right on your phone. You can do challenges, and you can win prizes. There's two ways that you could utilize it. One is putting the app on your smartphone, or another one is using your computer or your PC, and you'll use that link that's provided to set up your account. All right, so we talked about the different communication pieces, and then another important thing that I wanted to discuss too is we have some upcoming webinars, different programs coming up. So we are continuing with our wellness webinar series. Alexis will be talking about the new nutrition label on July 23rd, so mark your calendars for that. It'll be at 6:30 this time. So mark your calendars for that little change, and then we're going to have another one in August, on August 20th at 6:30. It's the science of the senses, and so we'll learn all the different pieces about that and how that influences with the food and the senses. You do the same thing as you've done before. You'll go into your you'll email employee wellness at fultoncountyga.gov. You'll get the registration information, and then just log on. And then one more thing I want to update everybody on. So we talked about mobile health having a lot of challenges and can win prizes. Mobile health is doing something new, and it's called Wellbeing Journeys, and you're going to have access to it starting July 20th. So in mobile health, and you have the app on my phone. I'm going to try to show you guys. It's going to be kind of tight, but this is the mobile health menu page. So you go, or the home page, and you go to the menu, and you go down to rewards and to the points, and you'll see where you can do different challenges under available, and get the points, and then you can win prizes. So it could be reading a book, making sure that you get 8 hours of sleep. Did you exercise at least 30 minutes that day? So within that rewards area, this is where you're going to be able to find these well-being journeys. This is the new part that mobile health is going to have for us. So you can learn about your nutrition well-being, sleep well-being, physical activity well-being. So you'll do an assessment, do the different activities required, and do a post-assessment, and then you'll be rewarded points. And so throughout the quarter, each quarter, you'll have all these different activities, and those people who have the most points, and there's a certain set amount, you'll be entered into a raffle, and you can win a Fitbit Ultra. And then the last thing that we have coming up. We have a lot more coming up, but these are just the things that we've definitely have solidified. Mobile Health, we're going to have a step challenge starting September 1st, and it's called Fall Foliage Tour Step Challenge. It's going to be 4 weeks, and what you got to do is you just are going to log your steps. So you can either manually log it into your Mobile Health app or on your PC, or you can use your device and upload it that way. And for those who finish and participate all the way through, you'll be entered into a raffle for a Fitbit Alta. So just make sure you're looking like those communication pieces that we just talked about: Mobile Health, Full Co News, and the employee Facebook page. And don't forget, if you are interested in these wireless earbuds, put your name in the chat, and then we will raffle those off, and we'll let you know who the winner is. I'm going to stop sharing and then turn it over to you, Alexis.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica.
You're welcome.
To share my screen. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Let me move this bar. Okay, here we go. All right. So hi, good evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Alexis Roberts, and I work with UGA Extension in Fulton County. So essentially what Extension is, we bring research-based information from UGA to our communities. So my technical role is Family and Consumer Science Agent, and you're like, what is Family and Consumer Sciences? That's essentially the new word for home ec. So I teach classes on nutrition, food safety, food preservation, indoor air quality, healthy homes, which actually has to do with green cleaning, and some financial literacy as well. So I'm really excited to share this information with you guys. So today we're going to talk about green cleaning, which is going to talk about touch on indoor air quality, how to make our home healthier, how to reduce some of the hazards in our home, and then also how can we save money with green cleaning. Okay, so why green cleaning? Why is this something that's considered a little bit healthier? So we spend about 90% of our time indoors. So this was pre-COVID, so I'm sure that we can imagine that we're spending even more of our time indoors now. And so what we actually know is that the air that we breathe inside is about 2 to 5 times more pollutant than the air outside, and that is according to the EPA. So there are things in our home that can decrease our indoor air quality, and that has to do with VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds. So volatile organic compounds are just all over our home, and we're going to talk about a few sources later, but as you can imagine, some of these are included in our household cleaning products, which is why we're going to talk about green cleaning today. So what we also know about these VOCs is that they can have a lot of negative health effects. So for some people, they can cause eye and nose irritation. They can cause headaches and loss of coordination and nausea. So that's why they always say with cleaning products, always use them in a well-ventilated area and things like that. Well, that's because VOCs are being emitted into the air. And then in more severe cases, they can cause damage to livers, kidneys, and your central nervous system. And we know for some products, they can even cause cancer. So we're going to go into a little bit more about VOCs in our next slide. So VOCs are everywhere within our home. So this is a really great picture that kind of shows it. So we have VOCs in our paint, in our mothballs, in our fresh dry cleaning products. So if you think about in your car, you know that new car smell that smells, I like that new car smell, but that smell is actually just chemicals that are being released into the air that we're breathing in. So foam padding for our couches, our heating, curtains. I don't know if you guys remember, it was a few years ago that formaldehyde kind of in a lot of furniture products was getting a lot of attention. And that was because of VOCs and how harmful they can be to our indoor air quality. So any glues, aerosols, pesticides, and things like that. So they can come from things that are commercially made or any products that are homemade. And so what we want to do is we want to try to decrease the amount of VOCs that enter our home. And like we said, VOCs concentrations can be about 10 times higher indoors than they are outside. So what we do know is that if we have a higher concentration of VOCs, studies show that this can actually lead to respiratory challenges, especially amongst children. So there are ongoing studies to show how chemicals contribute to chronic respiratory challenges. And so we know that they do help to produce allergic reaction and headaches. And we know that we can decrease our indoor air pollutants by reducing the amount of chemicals in our home, starting with VOCs. And a lot of VOCs we talked about are all around the home, but a lot of ones that we bring in and out are going to be our cleaning products. And so also you can have them from glues, paints, furniture wax, detergents, and things like that as well. And so we found that with a study that children that report asthma and respiratory challenges have some of the highest levels of VOCs in their home. So some people are a little bit more sensitive to VOCs than others. I'm not sure if you can put in the chat if you've had, one of my friends, his mom is actually like really sensitive to household cleaning products. So they like have to clean with green cleaning products. I don't know if you guys know anyone that is a little bit more sensitive to VOCs or not. If you do, you can definitely welcome to share in the chat. And so another part of having a healthy home is just making sure that our household products are put away in the right manner. So we know that household products are among the top 5 substances that are called into the US poison control systems. And so a big danger used to be kind of the single-use laundry packets when those came out a few years ago, because they were very colorful and pretty. And what's colorful? Well, who's going to be most attracted to really colorful things? It's going to be children, right? And so that ended up reporting having over almost 10,000 reports of children under 5 being exposed to eating or swallowing those single load liquid laundry packets. So we're also going to talk about poison looks-alikes and things are how should we store our household cleaners. Okay, so green tips. So what we're going to talk about is how to reduce your impact on the environment, how to simplify what you're doing, and also how to save money, because who doesn't want to save money? Okay, so why go green? So we've already talked about our health challenges that can happen if we have high amounts of VOCs. So you or your family member may have respiratory challenges, whether that's allergies or asthmas, or you could just be aggravated by the use of household cleaning products. I know sometimes when I clean, I'm like coughing a lot later in the day. So this is a way you can reduce the number of cleaners that you enter into your home, and that can help to improve your home environment. And you may also be concerned about just reducing your carbon footprint. And one of my favorite things about green cleaning is I have about 6 ingredients or 7 ingredients on the table I'm going to share with you guys today. And we can make over 15 recipes with just about 6 ingredients. So we're going to end up using a lot of these products over and over again, and they're going to really stretch out. We're going to do a demo before we leave here today, and I'm going to show you guys how far these green cleaning products really go. So you can cut down on the number of what you're buying and different things like that. And you can use a lot of these same products for multi-purpose throughout your home. Okay, so you're also going to use fewer products, so making cleaning easier for you. So who doesn't want to save money and also have an easier time doing it? So you don't have to necessarily buy specialized products just for your kitchen, just for your bathroom, and things like that. So what we're going to use to make our all-purpose cleaner are actually going to have some of the same ingredients that we're going to use to make our glass cleaner. So you can use a lot of the same products, and we're going to show you that. And so that can help to reduce your cost and then the amount of chemicals that you're bringing into your home. So we're going to talk about these basic types of cleaners, so abrasives, alkalis, acids, surfactants, and disinfectants. Okay, so for our abrasives, so our purpose is to scour off dirt, grease, and particulate matter. So we have physical abrasives, so like our sponge that we have here, and then we also have some chemical ones as well. So abrasives are gonna rub off that particulate matter on a surface, so they can be coarse, like the steel wool that we have here, or kind of like sandpaper, or like a finer mesh or nylon scrubber that you can use on nonstick surfaces. And so what this is doing is kind of taking the elbow grease out of cleaning for you. So abrasives are designed to remove relatively heavy amounts of soil that are found in small areas. They can come in powder and also in liquid forms as well. So next we have our alkalis. So our alkalis are going to break down oily dirt and cut grease. So what are some, does anyone know in the chat box, you can tell me, what are some examples of alkalis that you would use in green cleaning? This might be a hard question. I don't know if a lot of people would just know off the top of their heads. So you can think about things that you use to clean that are going to help to remove dirt or grease. Any takers? Okay, let's see. Dish soap. Okay, dish soap. So dish soaps do contain alkalis. So what are some examples of green cleaning alkalis are actually going to be baking soda. So baking soda is an alkali that helps to break down oily dirt and cut grease. So what an alkali is, it has soluble salts and they have a high pH. And that salt actually helps, that high pH actually helps to break down fatty oils. So hand soap is actually going to be a high level of alkalis, and so are dish soaps. So other natural or green cleaning products is going to be washing soda. So this is going to be a stronger version of an alkali. So normally for baking soda, it's kind of for light cleaning, but for our all-purpose cleaning recipe that we're going to do, it's actually going to have some washing soda in it. And then we also have borax. And this is an example of an alkali as well. So once again, those alkalis are going to help to break down those fatty oils. So baking soda is a mild, like I said, low-cost alkali. You can find that in the grocery section. It's going to be really good for removing smells from your refrigerator. You can actually pour it down your garbage disposal, and it's going to create a really great shine for your faucets and your showers. And if you need something more stronger than that for cleaning, you can use borax and then washing soda. And we're going to end up using washing soda in what we talked about later. So there is some people don't like to use borax just because it is a little bit stronger. As always, you just want to make sure you use it in a well-ventilated area. And yes, you can use borax to make slime. Okay, let's go to our next one. All right, so next is our acids. So I think this is what we normally think of when we think of cleaning. People use vinegar. That's a really big one to clean. So you can use vinegar. We're also going to use this today in one of our recipes. And also lemon juice. Excuse me. I have like all these products behind the camera. One just fell. Lemon juice is also an acid. So when we use acids to break down, they're going to actually help to break down difficult stains caused by rust and minerals. Because their pH is a little bit lower, it's going to be able to kind of break down those more difficult stains, especially those mineral or rust deposits. So if you ever have a deposit because you have hard water, kind of those calcium deposits, an acid is going to be really good at helping to remove that and get rid of some of those water stains and those discolorations. So your most popular ones, like we said, are going to be vinegar. It's a really good all-purpose cleaner. I know like my grandma used to clean with vinegar. Does anyone know anyone that like cleans with vinegar? That's their go-to or anything like that? It's okay if you don't. So you can also use lemon juice. We always recommend kind of using more bottled lemon juice just because the concentration or the acidity of lemons can actually change from lemon to lemon. So it's going to be better to use actual lemon juice. But if you're cleaning your garbage disposal, you can actually use lemon rinds, and that helps to kind of refreshen your garbage disposal. And it creates a really nice smell and also sharpens the blade of your garbage disposal if you pour it down there with ice. And then acids are also really good at cleaning silver as well. See, I saw something in the chat box. Oh, my computer doesn't want to show me the chat box. Okay, here we go. Yes, citrus infused vinegar. Very good. Very nice smell. So next we're going to have our surfactants. So surfactants are actually going to be a basic ingredient in soap and detergents. So this is going to actually help to grab hold of the dirt and remove it from the surface. So we've already talked about with alkalis help to break down that dirt. A surfactant is going to remove it. So it's going to cut the grease and grab onto the dirt as well. So you're going to find your surfactants are going to always be your soaps and detergents, and they're most likely going to be petroleum based because that just helps to remove that surface and that the dirt from the surface and that oil. So popular green cleaning surfactants are going to be Murphy's vegetable oil and soap, which is what we're going to use today. And there's also Castile soap. Dr. Bronner's is a popular brand that people normally use. So this is an example of your surfactant. So most of them are going to be made out of petroleum based. They can also be made with vegetable oil or coconut oil instead of petroleum, which are really good options as well. So essentially all of the cleaning products that you're already buying have these key components, but they also may have other things in them as well that create more VOCs. Let's see. So next we're going to go to our disinfectants. So can anyone tell me the difference between a cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting? If you could put it in the chat in like 1 or 2 words. Can anyone tell me the difference between those 3 things? So I'll say it again. Cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. Or you can just tell me the difference between disinfecting and sanitizing if anyone knows. And it's okay if you don't, because I'll talk about it. Excuse me. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say it. So when we clean something, we're just removing dirt from the surface. When we sanitize something, we're reducing microorganisms to safe levels. And when we disinfect something, we're completely killing microorganisms. So what a lot of people have been talking about, particularly during COVID, is normally people sanitize surfaces, reducing them to safe levels. Now under COVID, we want to disinfect our items. And a lot of the times we don't necessarily disinfect, we sanitize. But now people are doing more of like actual disinfecting. And so that's when we kill all the microorganisms on our surface, like on countertops, or if you're cleaning your bathroom and things like that. But a lot of people don't know is that a lot of your sanitizers or your cleaner's effectiveness depends on contact time. And each cleaner actually has a different contact time. So say if you're cleaning your bathroom and you have your bathroom spray and you're spraying and wiping it down within a minute or so, you're probably not disinfecting unless you have an extremely strong cleaner. And so like I like to use Clorox wipes for sanitizing and disinfecting, but each brand that you buy, of like wipes actually has different disinfectant contact times. So you have to make sure that you are reading the label on the back to make sure that you are cleaning or disinfecting correctly. So if you're looking for a green cleaning disinfectant, this is a brand 7th generation. It's a disinfectant multi-purpose cleaner. This is going to be a little bit more green. It's kind of harder to make your own disinfectant. You can make it out of bleach, but this is just a non-kind of bleach option. And we'll talk about bleach in a second. But the average contact time for disinfecting is about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're not waiting 5 to 10 minutes to disinfect, then just make sure you're reading the back of the label and you're doing it right. Okay, so next is bleach. So this is one of my favorite things to talk about, is because I think bleach is something that everyone uses or a lot of people use, but most of us use it incorrectly. So a lot of times when we mix something with bleach, we kind of just pour some bleach and then pour some water. But that's can be extremely dangerous because number one, just for our respiratory system, typically we use a little bit too much bleach. And the more bleach that we use doesn't actually disinfect our surfaces any quicker. And it can be harmful. So it can cause irritation to our eyes, to our skin, to our respiratory system. And then also say if it's something that you're eating off of, if you have a too high of a concentration, that can actually be harmful if you're ingesting it. So just with chlorine bleach, I think it is kind of a staple in the home, but we do want to make sure that we're using it correctly. And normally it's about 2 tablespoons to 1 gallon of water. Under COVID, it's recommended for about 5 tablespoons to 1 gallon of water, but typically, once again, we don't really measure this out. So there is non-chlorine bleach disinfectants that you can use. So these are going to be based out of hydrogen peroxide and other products. And then also there are eco-friendly disinfectants like this one that I showed you. You just want to make sure, these are things that you're using in the home and not if you work in food service or in childcare or anything like that, where you do have to have set concentrations that you need to meet. Okay. So we've already talked about this. Cleaning removes dirt and grime, sanitizing reduces germs, and disinfecting eliminates or inactivates germs. Okay. So what is greenwashing? So what we do want you to know that there's no standard definition for the term green. It's kind of like the term natural in food. There's actually no set definition or standardized definition for it. Like you can say like, these are natural Cheez-Its, you know, it doesn't really mean anything. So if you see the term green on a product, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So what we do want you to do is look for third-party certifications. So you can look for the green seal like this one, Safer Choice, which is actually regulated by the EPA, and then Cradle to Cradle. So these are three third-party certifications that you can look for. So typically what it means is that it's going to be non-toxic, it's going to be green, a little bit more environmentally friendly, biodegradable, and biocompatible as well. And then you also want to look for the full ingredient disclosure. It's just like in your food. We always recommend reading your product label. Okay, so the next thing about green cleaning is it is a great way to save money. So green cleaning products cost less than commercial and over-the-counter cleaners. So for this washing soda that we're going to use later to make our all-purpose cleaner, we're only going to use half of a teaspoon of washing soda. And our general purpose cleaner is only going to have about 4 ingredients. So I bought this huge container and I'm only going to use half a teaspoon. And the great thing about green cleaning products is that they last for about a month. So just half a teaspoon of this is going to last me and my product about a month. And my other ingredients are going to be baking soda, water, and we're going to do cornstarch for our glass cleaner. So not a lot of ingredients, and they go a really long way. So when you're making your cleaners, you want to only mix what you need or no more for a month's supply. So the concentration of these are only guaranteed for a month. So what you do want to do is with your container. So this is my container I bought from the store. I want to write with what my product is and the date that I made it. You want to try to use new containers. So don't reuse old containers that say you buy in the store. So this is kind of something that's already been used. Normally when these things are produced, they're produced for one-time use. So you can buy reusable containers, but just make sure that they are set to be reusable. You never want to reuse food containers for household cleaners. You just always want to keep that separate. Label with the date, ingredients, and product name, and always mix in a well-ventilated area and away from children and pets. So you never want to mix ammonia and bleach together, which sometimes happen. And then I won't touch on this now, but you can also add essential oils to your green cleaning products if you do want to kind of emit more of an aroma, and we just always want to keep those out of reach of kids. So next, what we talk about is kind of what is poison. So with cleaning products, like we said, about 5, they're one of the top 5 reasons that poison controlled is called. So we do want to make sure that we are storing them safely. So poison is kind of any substance that is harmful to someone if used in the wrong way by the wrong person or in the wrong amount. So typically we actually end up using our ingredients in the wrong amount, especially with cleaning. So this cabinet is really organized, but as you can see, it's kind of on the height exactly for kids to get into it unless there's a lock. So we do want to be really mindful how we store our chemicals, and we always recommend storing our chemicals away from food and out of reach for children. So how does poisoning occur? So we have ingestion. So children are attracted to brightly colored packages and objects, and they mistake pills and vitamins for candy. This can happen really easily, and this actually is about 95% of how poisonings occur through ingestion. So next we have absorption. So that's when occurs when poison substances like pesticides come into contact with our eyes or our skin. And this is called indirect poisoning and is absorbed through our skin or our mucus and membranes in our bloodstream. We also have inhalation. This is going to be really common. I know that I have definitely cleaned in not well ventilated areas before and I leave like coughing. So this just occurs when we breathe in toxic fumes, pesticides, or dust like leads or carbon monoxide, or just air comes directly into contact with the bloodstream. Air is exchanged and comes directly into contact with the bloodstream. We have animal and insect bites, and then also injection like a puncture wound with a needle or silver or something like that, or a silver of a wood that contains arsenic or different ways like that. But most of it happens through ingestion, absorption, and inhalation. So we're going to do a quick dangerous lookalikes activity. So just to kind of show you guys why it is important to store our chemicals in certain areas away from food and away from children. So we're kind of going to just look through a child's eyes. And I even have my own story with this. So with this picture, we have Listerine, that's kind of this orange color. We also have Pine Sol, and then Mott's apple juice. So when I was a kid, I don't know what it is. I still haven't talked to my parents about it. But they had what I thought was apple juice kind of in a juice container. And now that I think about it, and I'm older, I think it was actually old like frying oil. And so it was sitting on the counter and I thought, oh, I'll just pour myself something to drink. And then I tasted it and I knew something was instantly wrong. And so I actually didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents because I thought, oh, this doesn't taste right. Uh-oh, I probably wasn't supposed to drink this. And I didn't want to get in trouble. And so my dad just had the frying oil out on the counter. And I, as a child, I was like, oh, that looks like apple juice. So I drank it. So I think this happens a lot more easily and often than we think. And then also over here, we have some mice bait and Tic Tac. So, you know, us as adults, we would think of that and say, oh, that doesn't quite look like Tic Tacs. But as a kid, you're just seeing colors and it's an attractive color that kind of looks like candy. So next we have grated Parmesan and then kind of a cleanser, kind of the most common brand I know is Comet, that kind of looks like this. So once again, you think like, oh, who would mistake this? But if you're kind of in a child's eyes, these can look very similar. And then also we have our Gatorade bottle and then our Lysol cleaner here that have very similar colors. So we just really want to be aware of how we lay chemicals around the home. So this is an activity for you guys to do kind of when you're home. So I think it's really good to know the amount and the variety of home cleaning products that we have around our house. So I think it's good to know how many different products do I have? Are some of these multi-purpose? What are the ingredients in them? What are the claims and warnings on each of these products? And then make sure that you're looking at the directions and say, hey, am I using this as the manufacturer recommends that I do? Because like we said, most people do use cleaning products incorrectly. So we recommend that, you know, when you're home or just later after you get off of this, just, you know, in your free time, just look at your cleaning products and see, what am I using? Okay, so next we're just gonna talk a quick about preventing poisons. So once again, we just wanna be really mindful about how we store chemicals. So we always wanna store chemicals and drugs in their original containers. It's just really easily, as we can see with colors and kids, of just mistaking things. And sometimes we may even forget what's in that container as well. We also wanna make sure that we properly store our products. And then also downsize if we don't need it. If you see something like, oh, I don't remember the last time I used that product, it's kind of better to just go ahead and get rid of it. For home cleaning products, we never want to put them in food containers and always label and date them. We always want to make sure that we also lock away our cleaning products or keep them out of sight for children. We want to use products that have safety caps and that we always put the tops on tightly after each use. And then always make sure we're following product directions as well. So then we want to make sure, so once again, this is kind of about our greater home health. And we know that there are kind of 8 key ways we can keep our homes or make our homes healthier. And so green cleaning is one of those ways. So green cleaning is going to help you to reduce contaminants in your home, help to deter pests, and also cleaning in general is going to help you to avoid clutter, which can also help to reduce potential tripping hazards. So that's a physical hazard that can happen when our house isn't clean. And also pests can hide typically if we have a little bit more clutter. So we want to make sure that we keep our green clean, our home clean, contaminant free, which can be very challenging, but we do want to try to reduce the contaminants in our home to improve our indoor air quality. Keep our home maintained. So this is a big part about keeping molds out of our home and moisture, which is a huge, which could be a challenge, especially in Georgia and all of the rain that we get at times. Keeping our home pest free, keeping our home dry, ventilated, safe, and then green. All right, so I do want to show you guys one thing, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Elizabeth while I transition. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and then I'm gonna share my our ingredient page with you. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to send this out to Jessica, and she can share our green cleaning recipes with you. So I just want to show a few. So those are our green cleaning recipes for a healthier home. So what we're going to make later on today after Elizabeth's presentation, we're going to make an all-purpose cleaner. So like I said, there are literally just 4 ingredients, so super easy. We also have floor cleaner recipes, wood cleaners, and as you can kind of see, a lot of these ingredients just repeat. So white vinegar, washing soda, hot water, and then vegetable oil. That is actually very similar to our all-purpose cleaner, can be very similar to our floor cleaner. We have oven cleaners, drain cleaners. I use this one in my drain pretty often. We have furniture polishes, garbage disposal ice, and a lemon rind. And then also we're gonna do the glass cleaner today, and that just has 3 ingredients, and one of them is water. So these are just some green cleaning recipes that we're gonna share with you guys a little bit later, and I'm gonna do 2 recipes from that book. All right, so I'm gonna turn it over to Elizabeth while I transition to doing our green cleaning recipes. Elizabeth, are you ready?
I am ready. All right.
All right, awesome.
So everyone can see me now, and I will start sharing my screen. And what I wanted to kind of present will dovetail nicely. I wanted to go over a few library resources that will also help with learning more about green cleaning. And the flyer you're seeing on the screen right now, I will also give to Jessica to use later. I thought we would start with Hoopla. It is one of our ebooks and audiobooks, movies, music, and television services, but it will have all kinds of things on green cleaning and sustainable living. So I've just pulled a few items from Hoopla, and this was all under their subject heading of sustainable living. But as you will see right here, we have the complete book of clean that will be all about green cleaning, as well as decluttering an organization, avoiding those tripping hazards and things like that. So that will be in the flyer you'll get later, and you can just browse through and see if anything interests you as well here. Zero waste, I think I saw soap making earlier. And for these, you'll just need to make your account, and it will be as easy as setting up an email, a password, entering your library card number and PIN number. It will ask you at some point for like a zip code, so Hoopla matches you with Fulton County. Once you've made an account, which I bet most of you have, you can check out whatever you're interested in. See if it'll let me pop back to the flyer. Yay, okay. The other 2 that I think are really interesting, household product safety information. Medline Plus is actually a database that we have from the library system. And this one is going to be all about household products. So it's going to go over a lot of the same information that we've already covered, and things like what are some potential household cleaners that are poisonous or dangerous, as well as some household cleaning recipes, things that you would use to clean at home that might be hazardous to your pets, and things of that nature. So I thought you might want to look through there, and the recipes are very interesting. They are similar to the ones that we're going to make later today, though. And to find Medline Plus, if you don't want to go from the link in the flyer, you would go to our website, which is the afpls.org here, and you will just click on this thing that says Digital Library, and it will bring up all of our databases for you to browse. And the last one for here is Universal Class, which you will also find under that little Digital Library tab. Has a Housekeeping 101 class, which honestly I think I need to take. And it will go over what is in your cleaning kit, creating a routine, and creating your own cleansing products and understanding how they would work, very similar to what we covered today in the class. You can do this at your own pace and interact with other classmates, or you can view it as a video option and just kind of watch through videos, content on how to make all of these things. And again, you would find that and Medline Plus under Digital Library on our main site. And it would be under Adult Learning or Health. A couple things I want to hit before I turn it back over to Alexis is it is summer reading. So this year's theme is Imagine Your Story, and it's going to kind of work like the mobile health activities. We have Beanstack, which we've used for several years, but we have the app this year. So you just download the app, create your account, and there's some instructions here. But if you can put Facebook on your device, you can do this and it will walk you through each step. Download the app, log your minutes or the title of the book, and you get to win badges and prizes over the summer. And this is for all ages as well. And here, I've got a little one on how to use the virtual library. I won't go over this for you because I have a feeling most everyone will know these things, but I will include that in the information that I am sending to Jessica as well. You'll also see here that you can still get a library card with us online, even though we're not open quite yet. All right, did anybody have any questions? Oh, and don't forget to put your name in the chat so you can win some headphones at the end today. All right, Alexis, are we ready to go? All
Yeah,
right.
we're ready to go. Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome. I'm going to stop sharing and be quiet.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for those really great resources. So I'm going to make 2 recipes for us today. So we do have our general purpose cleaner, so that's the one that we're going to do first. So these are my containers that I buy. I think they're just like 2 something. I bought these at Walmart. You can find these kind of at any major box store. And so what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and write my product name in, because that's what we want to do first. We always want to label our product. So I'm going to write my cleaner, and then I'm going to put the date that I made it, which is 6/24. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So our 3 ingredients, so we have water as our 4th. So our main 3 ingredients today are going to be our white vinegar. You do want to make sure that your vinegar has at least 5% acidity. Most vinegars that you buy in the store will. I've only found very few that don't, and it's normally been like store brands. It's okay to buy a store brand, but you just want to make sure that it has at least 5% acidity, and it'll say so on the back of the label. So we have white vinegar. We have washing soda, which we talked about is an alkali, but it's kind of one of those harder alkalis, so that's why it's in our all-purpose cleaner. And last but not least, we have some oil soap, which we talked about. This helps to remove oil and dirt from the surface of our product. So once again, so we have our acid, we have our alkali, which is going to loosen up that dirt, and this is going to actually remove it. And then we have water. So I'm going to take my all-purpose cleaner. Oh, no, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to take my container. So it calls for 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. So I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. So you can see I have this huge container of white vinegar, and I'm only using 3 tablespoons. I also have a funnel, which I'm actually going to use, and that's going to make my life a lot easier. So these are my containers that I have just for cleaning. I could use white vinegar for cooking and things like that, but I try to keep my cleaning products, and then of course you always want to keep your cooking products separate. So then I'm just going to use a half of a teaspoon of washing soda. I've just gone ahead and poured it in a little container so you guys don't have to watch me struggle trying to get it out of this small little hole over here. So I'm only going to use a half of a teaspoon of washing soda. So not a lot at all. So you guys can't hear it, but it's starting to fizzle. It's like when you combine vinegar and baking soda, it kind of fizzles. So that's happening right now. And then we're just going to do half a teaspoon of oil soap. So we're not using very much to make this. So this is going to last us, we said, a month. And so with these products, I bought these products over 2 years ago to teach green cleaning classes, and I'm still pulling from these same original supplies that I bought because you don't have to use a lot. So next we're just going to use 2 cups of hot water. So I have some hot water here that I already have in my bucket. So just for ease of use, I'm just going to dip into my bucket. This measuring cup has 2 cups in it. So I'm going to pour it down my funnel into my container. It actually smells really good, I think, because of the oil soap. I'm in the washing soda. It just smells like cleanliness. I'm going to take my top, put it on, and I'm just going to shake it. And just like that, I actually have an all-purpose cleaner. Very easy, extremely economical. Like I said, you saw how few of these ingredients that I actually used, and the amount was really small too. And we can use this for up to 1 month. So really easy to make. So this is our all-purpose cleaner. So this is what you can use to clean surfaces really easily. You can use this to clean your bathroom. In terms of disinfecting, this is not a disinfectant, it's more so of a cleaner, but still really great to have. All right, so next we're going to do our glass cleaner, which also has just 3 ingredients. So the other one had 4, this one has 3. So I found from experience that it's going to be a little bit easier to make our glass cleaner in a bigger bucket, just because we have to put 2 quarts of water, and 2 quarts kind of barely fits into this one. So I will put this kind of off to the side. I have my mirror. So for our recipe for our glass cleaner, it's going to be 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar. So that acid coming back into play, but not very much of it. So I'm gonna eyeball it, make sure I have my liquid measuring cup. So I'm gonna put 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar. And then I'm gonna do cornstarch. And it calls for about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So this is what cornstarch looks like. It's just a little powdery if you haven't used it before. So just 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm gonna put that into my bucket. I'll put my bucket a little bit more in the center. And then I'm only gonna do about 2 quarts of water. So 2 quarts of water is about 4 cups. So I'm gonna do 2 of these. And then I can actually just mix this up a little. Like I said, you can do it in a spray bottle, but I've had a harder time finding spray bottles that can contain the full 4 quarts, or excuse me, 2 quarts. So then what I can do, I can get another funnel, and I can use my little bucket has a lid, keep it down. I'm gonna pour some of this into my container. You kind of see it looks a little milky. That's from the cornstarch. So then I'm going to put my top on my container. So once again, I'm always going to make sure that I label it, so I know it's glass cleaner. And I'm going to put the today's date, so I don't forget when I made it, so I know when to replace it after a month. So I'm going to shake it up a little bit. So I'm going to grab my mirror so we know that we'll spray it. So I only have paper towels here. Anytime we're going to be cleaning glass, it's best to clean with a newspaper, but I don't have that. So it does seem a little bit more liquidy at first when you spray it on there, but then this is not going to streak. So I'm going to take 1 more paper towel, give it a good wipe down. And I now have clean glass without any streaks. I know you can't super see it. And just like that, I have made a glass cleaner and an all-purpose cleaner in under 5 minutes. So like I said, I will be sending Jessica our recipe, our green cleaning recipes for you to use on your own. One of my favorite things about green cleaning, we only use 3 ingredients for one of our recipes and 4 for another, and water was in each of those. So it doesn't take a lot, and they go a really long way. Do we have any questions? And I can't see the chat, so someone have to let me know if there's anything in there.
Why newspaper?
Why newspaper? Oh, so newspaper will help it not to streak. It's just the material of newspaper is going to be better than a paper towel. It's not going to leave as much residue behind. If you ever clean glass with a paper towel, you kind of see the little kind of like strippets of paper material. Newspaper isn't going to do that, and then also the material helps it not to streak. Good question.
Know that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Any other questions? All right. Well, if there are no other questions, thank you guys so much for joining us. Jessica, do you want to close us out, or?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. So I want to thank everybody. Thanks, Elizabeth and Alexis, for your help today. We have our next one coming up on the nutrition label on July 23rd. And when I originally said at the beginning of our webinar that I was going to raffle one off of the earbuds, actually everybody who's on here today is going to get one. So what I'm going to do, is I'm not going to be back into the office for 2 more weeks. So when I get there, I will get those out, put those in inner office mail, and then I'll send you an email just to let you know that they're on the way. So thanks everybody for attending.
Awesome. Well, I guess you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.